and gentlemen, my sad duty to inform you that Tony Blair has popped up again in the news this week, promoting his vision for an Orwellian surveillance state. We've known about his fetish for digital ID for well over a decade now, but it was the focus on facial recognition technology in the clip that he put out this week that was really scary. We've got that clip, let's see it.
Facial recognition can now spot suspects in real time from live video, tracking organised criminals at borders, in public spaces, even helping find missing people. In London, live facial recognition led to 360 arrests by the Met Police between January and October 2024, just in a pilot project.
You see the trick there. It's the trick of every good authoritarian, and that is to couch his dreams of social control under the banner of, we will keep you safe. He's also, believe it or not, tried to win over the right by saying it'll be easier to know who is or who should be in the country. Good luck with that, Tony. We can all see where this is going, a technocratic surveillance state in which you'll be monitored 24 hours of the day. It will be easier to stifle dissent. Just imagine how, looking at protests, they'll be able to pull out people from the so-called far right. It will turbocharge the nanny state. And I never thought I would say this in the United Kingdom, but you can see an authoritarian leftist like Keir Starmer using this technology in order to implement some sort of social credit system a la the Chinese. We must resist this at almost all costs. But unfortunately, I think that many people will go along with it for the same reasons they went along with the COVID restrictions we discussed earlier. They just want to feel safe. Do you think people will go along with it, team?
Yeah. You know what? This is the age-old thing, isn't it, about authoritarianism? It slowly creeps in bit by bit, and once you have these digital ID cards, you will never be able to get rid of them, because guess what? They'll move every bit of your data onto the system. In fact, some countries have had a trial of this, and I believe it's India. Just people, research it yourself, but I believe it's India. And millions of people had their data, their biological data, hacked, and now can be defrauded wherever they are in the world, because they can prove they are this person because they've had it hacked. This is a dangerous, slippery slope, and we must never allow it.
More importantly, what they're going to link this to is climate change, the climate emergency. And we are going to get to a stage, if we get digital ID, where we pull up at the service station to fill up our car, and you put in your card and it says, sorry, you've had your allocation of fuel this month. Or you go and buy your donut and they say, sorry, you've had too many donuts this month, or whatever it is. It is social credit, it's coming, and people say, oh, I've got nothing to hide. You know, why don't I have it? You've got a smartphone, they know everything about you. They really don't.
A lot of Conservatives are making that argument. It's bonkers.
Because I can still use cash if I want to, apart from in Gales. Gales, I won't shop there because they won't let me use
bland and expensive. Bland and expensive. A bit like...
But these are ridiculous fantasies, right? You're making the mundane something to be really, really scared about, when actually we're in a minority of OECD countries that don't have digital ID. All our systems are digital already. Your concerns about hacking, your concerns about all your information being in one place, that's for the birds, because all of our information is already digital, and all of this is making government services easier, cutting waste, making it easier to figure out who should be in the country. You guys should be for this.
Trey, it's papers, please, isn't it? Is that papers, please? Can I see your digital ID?
No, I mean, you want to see your passport?
No, we just spoke about COVID, and that didn't actually turn out too well. Why would we want to give them more power? They tried in COVID when they tried to get those vaccine passports. Yeah, and you couldn't go away.
Two-tier system. You have and you have not.
And it was using fear, isn't it? You can't go on a holiday unless you've got this. You can't do this. You got that. I mean, my God, when they got your digital ID, they can just switch stuff off. Then you go into a digital car, which could be switched off. It's complete control.
But absolutely.
The other thing, I think we also have to recognise that facial recognition technology is a step even beyond digital ID. Can you imagine the amount of non-crime hate incidents that just can be automated if you can just use AI to push out, see particular faces?
Well, that's a really interesting point, because what we've also got coming down the line is the policing and crime bill, which there are parts of that bill that are going to make it almost impossible for us online to speak, to say anything that is against the narrative. It's a dangerous and scary bill.
What this does is it brings this kind of online morality policing into the real world. That is the infrastructure that you need to be able to police what people think in the real world as opposed to just on Twitter or Instagram.
Trey, is there an argument that we're sort of doing this to ourselves anyway? People are verifying themselves on Facebook and Twitter. They're giving their passport information to these mega companies. I mean, surely the government's just saying, well, we have to keep up.
Yeah, people are. I think people are just sort of slowly walking into this sort of Orwellian sort of situation and not realising they're doing it and giving it away. But we have to be the voice that stops that. At least give people choice, because we know we've given government control over our lives in other instances and they've been wrong. And it's been places like GB News or other people who's actually debate stuff who found, wait a minute, they're wrong. Do you want to do it again? Plus, I hear that facial recognition is 51% wrong half the time.
Yeah, especially,
so how's that going to work?
Especially if you're black.
Exactly.
It doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
It's awful. But also, don't forget, the companies like 23andMe that loads of people have given their DNA to trace their family history, gone bust.
And do you reckon they're going to say that you have to take off your burqa when this facial recognition system goes in? Absolutely not.
Having worked in that sphere, in the AI sphere, before ChatGPT existed, I remember the government pushing and charities and organisations pushing, because they would someone with a hijab or someone that would be rated as a higher threat to British people. Technically, statistically, that might be true if you're looking at specific types of Islamic extremism. But of course, the AI will be told that you can't do that. So therefore, I think there will be biases anyway. But you know, Kai, the whole thing about this really is that this country, we fought a war 80 years ago to stop papers, please, to stop Jews having stamps on their arms, and we stopped the Holocaust, stop all of this authoritarian nightmare. That was the principles on which we fought these wars on. We fought them against Nazism. This is a slow creep towards it, is it not?
No, it's just digitalising your ID and making it easier to access services.
Everything you do.
Well, you already do for lots of things, Alex.
You might have to do
for accessing what government services have you accessed recently?
What if I said to you to walk in the supermarket, you must show your digital ID? How would you feel about that?
But that's not the purpose of this.
But what if
The purpose of this is for accessing government services, and I know you want to.
We were told the vaccine passports would be purely for travel. Guess what? It was then for events and everything else. It slowly said, actually, we should have vaccine passports for this.
Telling 18-year-olds they couldn't go to a club without a digital passport.
Bonkers.
Yeah. Bonkers, and that's what they want.
And what a mess the system was as well. Can I just remind the viewers, it was an absolute chaotic disaster. None of it joined up. People, it was absolutely
it's a very interesting point, because what it will be used for is, have you had your vaccines? Has my child had all of her vaccines?
Will you be able to go to school if your child has?
Tony Blair has said that very openly.
He has, yeah.
I think the thing we're always missing as well is this: the fact that it's coming from Tony Blair. I mean, that scares the life out of me. I won't lie, it scares the life out of me.
Yeah. Kai, you got any defence for your mate?
If I can get a word in edgeways, honestly, this is completely mundane. I agree, there's a line and we need to make sure that it doesn't slip into authoritarianism. But what we're talking about, digital ID, really, this is not the enemy. This is going to make lives simpler and make public services work better. And we all want that.
It's the enemy.
Don't...
I think it's the enemy of our British values. I don't know why we would have fought a war against people who wanted to give everyone a badge of some kind and wear them on their arm and discriminate against you based on your race, religion, whatever else it was, whether you got a vaccine now be the new next thing. But anyway,